Hey guys, so I think it's really important here at Education First Alliance that we let you guys know of the changes that have been taking place on the websites of Duke, ECU, and UNC since we broke the story that doctors at these organizations have claimed to be transitioning toddlers as young as 2 years old. So we broke the story, and soon after it, 2 weeks ago, each of these organizations on the same night, as if it's coordinated, launched their denials saying that, we're not transitioning toddlers. We're just following clinical guidelines. Well, now we know that those clinical guidelines actually don't have an age at all that you can transition toddlers. So, yeah, they can follow the guidelines and still do it. All right, so let's take a look. First up is Duke. Duke takes this dude's website down, or excuse me, his bio page is down. Dane Wicker. Dane Wicker is the guy who's conducting, he says, research on, get this, pediatric patients, not youth. See here, he makes a distinction between youth and pediatric. He's doing research to find a diagnostic tool so that family practitioners or mental health workers or whoever can diagnose children, young children with gender dysphoria. Why would they want to do that? So that they can treat them. You see, guys, when they can diagnose and treat children really early, a couple things happen. Number one is that they can make tons of money. If you create a chronic condition in a 2-year-old, I mean, the money from therapy, drugs, surgery, revision surgery, that really adds up. So it's a moneymaker. Also, it stands to reason if you can catch a child very, very early, before they've even had a sexual experience, they don't really actually know what they are and what they want. And they certainly cannot imagine life, with children, without children. They don't know. There's no informed consent. So catching them early and catching their parents early and brainwashing them, which is a central feature of this, is really important. So Duke has taken this guy's information down, put it up again, etc. But now we know that Duke is conducting research on children as young as 12 years old. Told you about this last week. They're doing a study. They're enrolling 12-year-old and up on cross-sex hormones and studying their sleep. So they are doing that. So next, let's move to UNC. So right after our story came out, I mean, I'm talking like 2 days after, UNC removes all of its adolescent gender wellness program pages. Take a look. Okay, so they took it down. They also took down the intake form that we included with our story. Yes, screenshots are forever when we have it, that shows that they are willing to, or at least they were, take in children as young as 3. Now, this is important. The UNC hospital system, they have reach into all 100 counties. This is North Carolina's hospital system. So we, the people, have to be, very insistent that our lawmakers are transparent about what the hell is going on. I think that's why we need an investigation. So over this weekend, UNC, it looks like they've also taken down their adult sex change clinic. Take a look at this. So you're looking at an archive now. This has come down. It looks, in the last week or so, the best we can tell. We've never made an issue at all about the adult clinic, so I'm not sure why they're taking that down. Oh, wait. We do see here that the earlier version of this website, see, well, it actually has pediatricians on here, and quite a number of them. Now, I'm not saying that sex changes are done to children. What I am saying is that I can see that this was a whole department, and maybe this could suggest that they intend to get little ones on the path and give them something called continuity of care until they're an adult and maybe have that surgery. Okay, now let's move to ECU. We discovered over this weekend that ECU has really over the last 4 or 5 days taken down their providers list of who provides gender affirming care and to who. So it completely came down. If they were not doing anything wrong, and they said they were not, they said they believe they were not, why would they take this down? I don't understand it. Oh yeah, fun facts, not really fun. But we also found that the guy, Mark Reisdorf, who is the director of the Jesse R. Peel LGBTQ Center at ECU on campus, he's also sitting on the board within the medical school that made the decision to open this Pride clinic to children. He's also the guy who leads these safe zone trainings for teachers to refer their children in for treatment. He's also the guy who has been, fixated on transgender youth and bringing them in for treatment. All that is to say, the dude is super pumped about trans kids. All right. So we discovered this article from a newspaper that's very prominent in this area, covers this area. He and some of his buddies at ECU want to, wait for it, open a homeless shelter for trans teens. Doesn't sound like a good idea, but hey, it gets better. One of the professors here, he's a chemistry professor that we hear that's been promoted a bunch of times in the last couple of years. He said, listen, I've been looking on Grindr, and I've noticed that 16, 17-year-olds, they don't have their profile picture up, and they're not being seen. Now, when we look at this guy's bio, one of his bios at ECU, we find that he is a chemistry teacher. Keep that in mind. He's got a research interest in trans youth workers. Let me get this straight. He looks on Grindr. This is a gay hookup site. Looks at teen profiles. Wants to open a homeless shelter, right, for teens. And he's interested in trans sex workers. Seems like child sex trafficking to me, and that's why we need the cops to investigate this. This is insane. So, are pedophiles involved with this movement? Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I imagine that they're drawn to this movement at every level, whether it's daycares, whether it's schools, and we've seen that with a bunch of arrests over this year in North Carolina. And even in the healthcare realm, and then higher learning. So look, we're going to be asking for a full investigation. We need oversight into this. We need to investigate a lot of questions. Is anybody behind this? Who's been abused by the process? I mean, we object to this whole trans medical movement. Really, it's the movement from the classroom to the operating room. Grooming. We're opposed because it's predatory, it's permanent, the medication is, and it's built on lies. So we want it to end. We want investigations. And Duke, UNC, ECU, you can run, but you can't hide, yo. You totally denied it. We see that you're hiding something. We want to know why.